ACCUSTATS Video Productions presents from Louisville, Kentucky, the second annual Derby City Classic. I'm Bill Incardona along with Danny Diliberto, and together we're going to be bringing you this final match in the 9-ball division of the Derby City Classic. Danny, Avery Dee Adkins, a relatively unknown player, but nevertheless playing extremely well this week.
Well, I'm glad I know him now because he could have sneaked up on me in Florida. But I'll tell you this is a rematch. You know, the other, yesterday, in fact, Souci beat him, got 5-1 ahead, and then Atkins tied it up, and it was a war. So this is actually a rematch, and it's in the finals. Great finals.
And since I didn't mention his opponent, needless to mention him, Danny already did, George Souci, and this man is definitely on a roll. Just captured the last Camel Pro Series event, the 10-ball division. I believe that was in Colorado. Anyways, he captured that, and 10-ball is a little more difficult game to play than 9-ball, so therefore that's certainly, you know, a tribute to how well he is actually playing.
Right. The more balls on the table, the better cue ball you have to have, and he has that.
And then consequently, the better player has a better chance of winning.
Well, he did a remarkable thing. He won the straight pool tournament in Amsterdam. I can't believe he did that. You know, New Amsterdam. He was not supposed to be a straight pool player, and he won that. So this guy has talent.
Oh, there's no question about that. He does have a lot of talent. He's slated as a 2-1 favorite in a short race to 7. And when you race to 7, anyone can win. Being a 2-1 favorite in a short race to 7, that's really significant odds.
That's a bad line, 2-1. It can't be that way. But anyway, in the audience, he has his beautiful wife, this Atkins, and his beautiful mother, who looks like the wife and mother are sisters. And he's proud of his little 4-year-old son. He wanted me to mention all that. And it looks like it's close. They might have to get out the ruler. Atkins won it by a smidgen, it looks like.
Atkins won it or Souci won it?
I don't know. It was awful close. From here, it looked like Atkins won it, but he's sitting down, so maybe Souci won it.
The race is to 7. Short race to 7. Puts a lot of pressure on both players, particularly Souci, who's slated as the favorite. And when you're the favorite, you're expected to win. That's added pressure just by itself.
Well, there's particular pressure in a short match on the very first game. You want to win that first game.
I was watching Souci practice just a short while ago. He was breaking the balls very well, and he was running out with great consistency. If he's able to put down a ball and come up with a shot, I think he's going to do well.
Well, that's the word, consistency. That's what you have to win tournaments. You have to play good for days, or one of these killers will beat you. And there goes this 1 ball in the side pocket, which has been happening, and that little nudge on the 3 made the 2 playable shot.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't have a shot on the 2 until the 3 bumped the 2 in the position, and now he has a shot on the 2 with the 3 next to it. Danny, on the telestrator, tell us what may happen after pocketing the 2 here.
Well, I think that when he cuts this 2, he may hit the 3 too full, unless he does it with a real delicate touch, and he might knock the 3 over here in pocketing the ball. I don't think he's going to hit the 3 thin enough to hold it, unless he just crawls it in. Let's see if he can come with that speed. Oh, he came with that speed all right.
And the 3 ball went exactly where you thought it might go, but with his ability to hit the ball nice and softly, he was able to control the 3.
That's almost a speed where the 2 ball has to barely reach, which he did.
Playing for the combination is probably a little better shot, even though the 4 would go up in the other corner. Now, after pocketing the combination, the 4 ball will then go up toward that upper left-hand corner, which will lend to a nice, easy route to the 5, which is positioned at the other end of the table.
He don't want to hit it hard enough to make the 4 because it's going towards that pocket. But It was like manufactured position.
Balls are spread quite nicely over the table, 5, 6, and 7. It looks like a pretty easy out, barring any unforeseen thing happening. Danny, I look for him to go on to win the first game.
Yeah, I don't see anything stopping him because he's going to stop, have the angle to get to the 6. The only thing he don't want to do is get on a cushion right now. If cue ball stays out in the open, I see absolutely no problem. He undershot it a hair, but now he might have to play for position in the side pocket.
Looks like he can level off instead of elevating, which is always better.
Good speed.
Nicely stroked.
Got the right little angle on the 7 to go to the 9 for the corner pocket near him.
And I look for him, if he doesn't have that severe of an angle, to roll it, but if he has too severe of an angle, then he would have to go around the 9, playing position for the 9 in the other pocket. But that's not what he had to do. This is game number 1. With the pocketing of the 9, he will jump out of the gate 1-0.
That's one of my favorite shots on the 9 ball.
Well, I can't blame you. You know, I don't ever remember seeing you miss one like that.
I make it under all kinds of pressure.
In the final match, the tournament director, Scott Smith, will be the person racking the balls. Unlike other tournaments when each player racks for their opponent, I kind of like it this way. What do you think?
I do too. Less work to do. Just sit there and put your hands in Scott's hands. You know. Of course, you can always check the rack and let him re-rack him if you don't like it, but it's good. It's less work for the players.
This is rack number 2. Game number 2, Souci pocketing a ball on the break in game number 1, following that up with a nice run out. Let's see what he can do here.
See if the ball keeps going in the side pocket. No, it went a little wide of it this time, and Adkins is going to have a long shot to start with and a little tough control, because in pocketing this ball, you're liable to snooker yourself.
But he does have the fortune, I should say, to have the 2 ball positioned near the lower left-hand corner pocket. He's fortunate to have the 2 ball in the position where it is, so therefore all he needs to do is pocket the 1. And if he doesn't get snookered, like Danny says, he doesn't really need to play much position, particularly where the 3 is positioned also adjacent to it, cross table. The 2 is here, the 3 is here. He'll pocket the 1. He should then swing here and out here somewhere.
Hopefully. I know he wishes the 8 wasn't there. Everything would be a little bit easier. Good shot, and he didn't even gamble on it. He made sure he got somewhere where there were no balls in the way. That is a gutsy shot. Actually,
where he positioned the cue ball was even better, because he hit it with a better stroke, and it's hard to hit it too hard.
Right. You're better. And again, you're better off overdoing it. And now it looks like he can go towards the 7 and have the 4 ball.
I think with the telestrator, I think he's better off on this particular shot by just actually accepting
it's going
this
in
shot
direction
here.
of the 7, right in your path, but right, you know, and he wanted to make sure he undershot it, of course, so he don't have a chance to go behind the 7. And this is automatic position to the 5. Make the ball, the cue ball, natural flow is going to the 5. I like to use that word, natural flow, because you don't have to hit high, low, stroke, nothing. Make the ball, and the angle brings you to the next ball. That's natural flow of the cue ball.
And if you ever have a decision to make when you're at the table on which way to play position, look for the natural way to play position. In 99 times out of 100, that's the correct way.
Much easier speed to have control of.
Well, he's fallen a little short of the mark, so he's going to have to do a little extra traveling here.
Yeah, he's going to go 1 rail, like perpendicular, and then back to the 7. Hit that rail perpendicular and just go back up. Oh, that didn't like that. He put a little English on it he didn't need, but he has to do a little work now.
On shots of that nature, when the cue ball crosses over a ball, the English transfers from the ball to the cue ball, and you get a little bit of natural English on the cue ball.
The friction of cutting the ball puts right-hand English on the cue ball, which makes it a little tougher now, of course.
It's not an easy shot.
No, I'd rather have something easier on the 8. But he's going to get on the 50-yard line maybe. Well, he's all right. He can reach over maybe, being right-handed. Yeah, a left-hander would have trouble reaching this. He's having a little trouble, it looks like.
Right. What he's doing now, he's taking a look at it from another perspective. And now he's going back over the ball where he can reach, but not comfortably, but he can reach it. And scoring
a 1-1 ball game.
Tying up the match at 1 game apiece.
That was not an easy rack. He had to make the 1 and fall on the 2, even though the 2 was hanging. And he had a few other little problems. He overcame it all.
Yeah, in the first shot he had was the most crucial shot in the rack, and after that shot was over, I'm sure he was really relieved, because that's the type of a shot that's easy to miss, and also you can get hooked with it. And another factor is that this is the finals of a major event. This is your first opportunity at the table in the finals. How are you going to respond to this? Well, that shot certainly answered a lot of questions.
And we don't have another game going on the other table, so this is center ring. All eyes are on him. He made a ball, and the 1 got knocked for position, but the 2 tied up. I think with a good stroke, he may be able to come right straight down this rail and shoot the 2 ball to that pocket to the left of him, that corner pocket.
Well, let's take a look at and describe exactly what may take place here, Danny, on the telestrator.
Well, I think he can hit this on the full side and come right back through here, and that's what he's going to try. It takes a real good stroke and a soft stroke that still draws like that. Like that.
Okay, he wasn't able to attain a shot on the 2, but he has options here.
Yeah, he can shoot the ball and stop right there. If shot in position are tough, look to play safe, and I think that's what he's going to do. Freeze him dead cold. That takes away a lot of the kick. A lot of the kick.
And it was important for the 2 ball not to gain a position close to that cushion, we'll say 3 to 4 inches from that cushion, because then it would have offered a bigger target.
Right.
It's out like a foot from the bottom cushion, and it's a much more difficult ball to hit.
Right. They call it a small ball in 3 cushion right now. I think he has a 1 rail kick. That's about it.
1 or possibly 3 behind the 2. 3 cushions, hitting the short cushion, long cushion, and then short cushion again.
That would be
or
the best
straight at
way to hope for safe.
Well, that's your biggest target if you can hit that second cushion on the long rail.
It's a 7-inch target almost.
Now he's opting to go 1 cushion into the 2.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest shot. But you got to be careful you don't hit the 2 on the right side, because you can scratch. No, he's going 3 rails.
I like 3
cushions. He's going 3 rails. No, he almost made it. Great hit.
It's an excellent hit.
He's not going to play safe. And I think he can make this 2 and go between. In fact, here's what it looks like. I think he could make this 2 come through here, here, and back here. That's the path that looks natural. I don't think he has to do anything to the cue ball but make the 2.
And that's the way I see it also, Danny. It looks like he has a natural angle.
Well, you see it that way too?
Absolutely.
Maybe it's not right.
It's possible.
Let's see. Oh, he did it. We were both right, Billy.
It's not often that we're both right.
Yeah. Okay, how's his little angle here? He don't have much angle, but if you shoot hard, you create more angle. So I think he can force into that rail and draw the ball 2 rails to the 4. Or he could even go forward, but I don't like going in a path where you're snookered. Always go, if you got a choice, go a path you're never snookered on the shot.
If given a choice, never choose a path where there's traffic.
Right. So I think he can hit it low and force an angle and go 2 rails and get a reasonably good shot on the 4. He drew right in the pocket.
Well,
hit it too low.
That's a pretty big mistake, particularly in a short race to 7, and once again, particularly playing one of the upper echelon players in George and Souci, who may be at this time playing as well or better than anybody in the world.
All he did was hit the cue ball too low. Should have hit it harder and a little higher, but it's much easier up here in the chair.
See, I liked what he did there. He played position for the 5 in the upper right-hand corner. He's going to do that 100% of the time. A lot of other players would have tried to reposition the cue ball on the other side of the 5, playing position for the lower pocket. It's not really a grave error, but it doesn't play as easily and as smoothly as what he did.
In other words, if we're talking percentages, shooting it 100 times you get position automatically here. It's like I heard you say in one of the other tapes that you got position already, why play position?
He would like to stop the cue ball in the area where the 7 is now, offering him a 2-cushion angle for position for the 9. Well, he's going forward. This is fine also.
He didn't run it. This is greater because you're going a shorter distance. 2 rails, there is a little element of error that doesn't show in this 1 rail. Hit the cue ball low, a hair right-hand English, and you'll go close to the 9, and just like that.
This is rack number 3. The match is tied up at 1 game apiece. Souci looking to change it and take the lead in the match 2 games to 1.
It's like if this keeps going, we're going to have a hill-hill game.
Well, we've had the opportunity to now watch both players at the table break the balls. I think that the break is a big factor. It's one of the most important shots in the game of 9-ball, and if I would have to give the edge to either player, it would have to be to Souci in that area.
Right. And the experience edge.
Well, I don't think there's an area that Adkins is a better than Souci, and Souci has more experience. He's won a lot of major titles. You know, he breaks them a little bit better. He's more composed at the table because of his experience. So therefore, it's going to be very difficult.
Right. And for all you viewers, it's not so easy. As easy as they look out there, it's not so easy playing in a final match that you really want to win with the money involved and the prestige. It's not so easy. There's pressure no matter how soft the run looks. Well, he made 2 balls on the break, and he's going to have to come with a bank shot, and it's not quite what I call the electric chair bank. You know, if I had to put a bank up that I got to make or go to electric chair, this is maybe second. I have some shorter banks that I would rather have in the corner. But let's see.
Once again, he has position, and that is he'll bank to 1 cross side, and he won't travel far with the cue ball, repositioning it somewhere in this area here.
Exactly. Main thing is make the ball. Don't want to miss now. And he did exactly what you said with the pencil.
But he's lying rather awkward on the 2. Notice the position of the 4. That's going to be his next ball.
Okay, but I think that with a stroke, he could hit the 2, knock the 2 in, the cue ball can continue on through here. Good stroke, but I think that's what he has. I don't think he has enough angle to just bounce off here. I think he has to go the path that I called.
Okay, now the option that he has that I can see is one, the path that you chose, and the other is to follow it, hitting it, and coming out just right here.
Well, either way, the 8 is in the way of the cue ball for position for the 6, but the 9 is close to being a dead combination too.
But by playing 1 rail instead of 2 rails, the pocket plays a lot larger.
Yeah.
See, the pocket plays a lot larger.
Except he snookered himself. He snookered himself.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I liked him shooting that a little harder and coming out. And then if he glances the 8, thusly, he might have fell on this combination. But at any rate, he snookered. And you don't want to do that with 5 balls on the table because your opponent's almost certain to run out.
Now, you must be able to see some part of the ball.
Well, then he can hop a little bit maybe, or curve it. Yeah, he's going to curve it.
Now, in this particular shot, he has really developed the skill to perform this particular shot as well as anyone just about.
Well, I was going to mention that, but I didn't want to talk while he was shooting. Whenever you have to hop on a cut, you usually overcut it. Those hop shots are great when you're almost straight in. But when you have to cut the ball, that usually happens. You overcut it. because the cue ball goes above the center of the object ball and cuts it more. Well, now he's going to have to go one rail and play the 7 in this left-hand corner where he's at. But at any rate, I don't see any big problem.
And he actually used the 2-cushion route for position, and the reason he did that because he increased his accuracy a little bit and hitting it with that speed.
Right. This is going to turn out pretty good.
Well, this is rack number 4. Atkins trails in the match 2-1. He'll probably just pinch it and accept the shot in the lower right-hand corner. Nope, he's going across.
Yeah, no sense. Like you say, he likes to hit the ball with a little authority. That would have been bunting. And nothing wrong with this. If you fall like this, on my favorite shot again. 2-2. Like I said, if this keeps up, alternating every other game, it's for sure to be a hill cliffhanger.
Let me see if I can figure out the mathematics. You're saying that as long as each player win every other game, it figures to be hill.
Great, Billy. You caught it. You really caught it. So far, that's what's happening. Souci, Adkins, Souci, Adkins. Now Adkins break. Let's see if he can change the math. It might confuse you. You know, you might not be able to figure it out anymore if he wins this one. But I'll help you, Billy. As I went to college.
I have total confidence in that.
Yeah, I went to college. Ooh, just missed the side pocket, but a ball did fly in, and he's a mile away, but he has a shot.
He may have a shot.
I think he does.
And I think he does too, but the 7 ball could be in the path.
I don't think so. It's just the distance is in the path. He's got like 8 feet to shoot, and it's the game-winning shot. All he has to do is pocket this, but he's far away. But zero in on it, make sure of your fundamentals, and pop it in. That's how you win tournaments. Well, he's hopping it a little, and maybe the 7 does come into play. He made it, but he had just that hair angle. But again, when they're almost straight in, the hop shot is lethal, but a little cut and it's murder. But anyway, I think he can, let me see, we have the telestrator on. I think he can cut this ball, knock it to here, and go sort of somewhere over there, and maybe get him on the 7 ball. Well, he did 2 rails, but he still may get him. No, he left the ball. Now
this is an interesting situation here.
Well, I like to bet he cuts at it for one reason. Position is just about automatic if you make it. I mean, your first inclination is to shoot straight on and maybe get the ball a little angle behind the 9, but I think he doesn't want that. I think he's going to cut at it. And only because you're going to get position. You don't want to shoot this.
I think he's going to cut at it for another reason also, in addition to the one you described, is that the safety is just as tough as the shot.
Right.
So therefore, why not go for the shot? You know you're going to get rewarded with that.
Right. Don't lose the game on a phony safety. You're better off shooting at a white flag, right?
Exactly. If there was a good safety offered to him, I'm sure he would opt to choose that. But since the safety is iffy, the shot is iffy, go for the shot.
Yeah, he hit rail first, and but he got lucky. I believe he got lucky. He might be able to hit the edge, but he certainly can't pocket it anywhere.
Now, with the speed that he hit that shot with, it decreased the accuracy somewhat of that shot, and and that's what happened. You know, he mishit the ball, but as Danny said, he looks like he's got a little bit lucky here, and Atkins is at the table with, I don't know if he can hit any part of the 2. From my vantage point, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I would say that he can hit the 2. It depends how full. If he can hit it full enough to bank it through here, he might go like one rail this way with the cue ball. I don't know if he can quite do that, but that would be the shot if he can hit that much of it. Just get the 2 on the end rail whether you snooker him or not. Oh, here comes the hop shot again. I don't know what he's going to try to do with this hop shot.
Which is
2
also
don't go by the 8.
No, indicating that he cannot do what Danny described.
Yeah.
And I don't know about that shot. You
I
know,
don't
hitting it
either.
with that speed. Certainly,
Jacking up, the cue ball's going to hop. Went right over the top of the 2 ball.
Well, the 4 to the 6 seems to be the only problem out there, if that's a problem at all.
No, if he gets from the 3 to the 4.
But you would like to play position for the 4 in the lower left-hand corner. That lends to a better angle.
Yeah.
From the 4 to the 6. Playing position for the 4 in the lower right-hand corner, you're going to have to attain more of a straight angle on the 4.
He can do anything he wants here. Center ball, float down, and get to this pocket on his side of the table.
See, he has more margin for error playing position on the other side of the table. Now, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
See,
He
on
got
the
a
other
little
side
fin.
of the table, he wouldn't have been
You know what
concerned
he's
about
looking at
position
right
on the
now?
4.
Telestrator, please. He is looking at glancing the 9 and falling over here. And the angle may be there. Let's see.
I don't really think it's there, and if it's there, he's going to have to force it. And the way he'll force it is to overcut the 4. I don't think he likes that.
Let's see.
So it looks like he's going to have to settle. We have the telestrator, please? It looks like he may have to settle to go up table and back down.
Yeah, that could be what he's trying to do. He hit the 8 instead, made it, and has a tough shot on the 6.
So as I mentioned, the pocket for him to play position on the 4 was actually the other pocket because it allowed him a much larger margin for error on position for the 4.
Okay, what do you do here? Do you bank at the ball, or do you just try to knock the 6 over to here? What do you do here, Billy? What would you do?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for this shot, Danny.
Cut it right down the corner?
Cut it right down the corner.
Well, on this side, I don't think the ball hugs the rail. On the other side, it does. So, you know, because from the 1 pocket tournament, it's what I saw. See it rolling out a little bit? And it went in anyway.
Well, he made a great shot. And it takes a lot of courage at times to pull the trigger. That was one of those shots where it takes a little courage to pull the trigger.
Great shot.
So therefore, he was able to pull the trigger, and he's gotten rewarded for it.
Now he can go 1 rail to the 9. If he shoots soft enough, he doesn't come near that corner pocket.
Yeah, this is a very awkward angle, and it looks like it's lying right on the scratch angle, so he's going to have to do something with the cue ball here, Danny. I think that he hits it with a little bit of speed, it's going to scratch straight in the corner.
He can't hit it with speed, you know. But I think the speed lays pretty good.
I don't think it does.
Is he going to try to hit the side rail and go 3 rails or something?
I would definitely hit the side cushion here. I don't think that if he pockets the 7 and hits with any kind of speed, he's going to get away with it. He's going to go right in that corner pocket. I look for him to elevate slightly and use that side rail.
Well, that's what he's looking at. To me, it looks like you can hit at the right speed and catch
this
the end rail.
This is the way I would shoot this shot.
He's going to go 3 rails somehow.
This is the correct way.
Just don't miss. That's the whole part.
That was the correct way.
He didn't miss.
That was the correct way.
He has a good shot.
Now, this is a shot that he figures to put down about 90% of the time.
That's not good enough. 90%
Well,
of the time.
it's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm a 9-1 favorite, I'll take it.
Let's see.
And it worked out well for him as well.
And our alternating winds still going.
And you know what? What you said is right. After game number 5, Souci once again takes the lead of the match, 3 games to 2.
Okay, now it's Adkins' turn to win the game. You got to have a hill-hill match here. Must have a hill-hill match.
Well, we were talking about that a little earlier, and someone said, what is the price, the odds of seeing this match go double hill, hill-hill? and one of the spectators said 10 to 1. I wanted to leap on him, but of course I wanted to stay calm and composed and make sure he didn't feel that I really liked it that much.
Yeah.
10 to 1.
You didn't want him to lower it to 8 to 1.
10 to 1. I bet.
There we go.
Let's take a look at some of the pro rating here on this particular match. Atkins is shooting a 904.
To 925.
925 for Souci.
Made a ball.
And he bumped the one again.
Bumped it
a
wrong.
few times.
The 3, 5, and 7 are tied up. And you can't gamble on going on the inside of the 7 because you can scratch.
This looks like one of those long racks, by the way.
What is he doing? He is looking to go off the one behind the 7. Now, I don't know if that's dangerous for a scratch, but if he can execute this, he'll snooker the guy and open up the balls also.
How about this for a long shot? Banking the 1 into the 9. The 9 kisses off the 2 in the corner pocket.
It's over kissing, Billy, but you never
maybe
were
not,
good.
Maybe not, depending on where he hits the 9.
Yes, but to hit that, you couldn't hit it with if you shot the 9 off the 2 accurately.
So therefore you're saying you'd lay $1 million to 1.
Yeah, it's
all I got to do is
over-kissing,
win one of these bets.
Yeah,
$1 million to 1.
That's right.
If I can just win one of those bets.
Yeah, but see, that was never your forte.
You'd really be shaking right here laying $1 million to 1.
But he's not going to even try that. He's trying to go behind the 7, like I said. No, he didn't. He was trying to cut the 1 off the 7 and play it safe. Oh my God! If he makes it, it's fine. If he don't, the guy is in trouble.
Okay, now what he can't do is try to kick at this ball. I mean, I would never try to kick at this ball.
I'd give him ball in hand here.
I would reposition the 2.
Why?
I
Leave
would
it where it
reposition
is.
the 2.
Because from the 2 to the 3, there's nothing good anyway. Don't gamble on opening the balls in any form. Kicking it, you can't gain if you make it. I just give him ball in hand here.
I would try to put the 2 somewhere around where the 8 is, repositioning it, because it's much more difficult to loosen up the 3 and the 5 from there than it is from where the 2 was.
He thought that also, because that's what he did. But now he left an angle that he can go into the 3 with.
Okay, I didn't say that.
I wouldn't have changed the thing.
Was a good shot. I'm saying that I would try to reposition it near the 8, where it would make Souci's job a lot more difficult.
You know what else? He can open them right now if he wants to. He can glance the 7 and draw the ball, and he'll still get position. So he couldn't have done that if he left the 2 where it was. I just would have shot the ball in pocket, let him have ball in hand, let him work.
No, I totally agree with what you're saying, the way it turned out.
Yeah.
But if he would have repositioned the 2 closer to the 8, he couldn't have done any of that.
But he didn't.
That's just like missing a ball. It's an error.
Yeah, and it could be costly.
Oh, absolutely. And I think he's going to hit this with some speed.
Yeah, he did just what we thought he might. Well, of course, he has to get close now to the combination, or he didn't gain anything. He doesn't gain a thing.
And not only didn't he gain a thing, it's going to be hard for him to play position for the 3 now, considering the position of the cue ball in relation to the 2.
Right.
And I wouldn't even know, from my vantage point, how he's going to do it. Because if he goes forward, does he swing this way? Or does he try to come...
Can't swing that way because of the 9.
Or does he come straight back up?
That's what I think he would have to do. That's the only way to get
but
close.
There's one other option, which I noticed.
Shoot it in the corner.
Shoot it in the corner.
Yeah.
And then draw the cue ball. And with his great pocketing ability, I think that's what he's opting to do.
I think he is. Because if he happens to miss the 8 and the 3, he has the 3 in that same corner he's shooting the 2. That's what he's trying to do. That's a good idea, because if you miss, you figure to snooker the guy too. Great shot. Great shot.
I think that was a winning shot there for this particular game, because all he needs to do now is put down the 3, and he's about 90% of the way home here.
Yeah, well, if he makes the 3 and you want to lay me 9 to 1, well, I'll lay 9 to 1. I'll bet he gets out. But I already owe you a breakfast that we're not allowed to sit together.
No, that's true, and you haven't paid that one off.
I haven't. But you're never up for breakfast, Billy. You always wander in here with your eyes half closed at 3 in the afternoon.
Well, that's breakfast time for me.
Yeah. Out west. You're right. If you're in Hawaii, it's breakfast time.
He's going to cheat the pocket. He's close enough to the 5 ball to do that with success. So, but he's got the angle that he really doesn't want. And
of course,
even though he's as close as he is to the 5, this shot doesn't play as easily as it appears.
Another inch out, and there's no problem. He's going to have like a little shot in the 6.
Okay,
and you know what he did? He played it off the 8.
He certainly did.
Great creativity. He played the cue ball off the 8 to get the right angle on the 6. Great shot.
Yeah, and as a benefit on top of that, he repositioned the 8 on a position on the table that makes it easier to run out with.
Great shot. No wonder he won a straight pool tournament. That's what it takes to win straight pool tournaments. Can't just shoot balls and win straight pool tournaments with top players. This guy has a lot of talent and a lot of creativity. And here's a shot I think you'd make.
Well, it's close to like your favorite shot.
Right. Yeah, it's the other pocket though.
Well, there goes your alternating games, and now it looks like it's not going to go hill-hill if that's, if that's what it took for it to go hill-hill after game number 6, and Souci has a 2-game lead in a race to 7, 4 games to 2.
He is a solid player.
Oh, there's no question about it. Souci has developed, into being maybe the premier 9-ball player in the world today. You really can't argue with that because of the success that he's had of late.
You're right.
And he's at that right age too. I don't know really how old he is, but he appears to me like he's around 27 years old.
I have one question, not to be derogatory or insulting. How did he get the name Ginky? Do you have any idea what the significance of that is?
No, I don't. Maybe we'll find out shortly, and we'll be able to share that.
Maybe when he was a kid or something.
Game number 7, Souci 4, Adkins 2. Now this is going to put a lot more pressure on Adkins when he makes his appearance back at the table, if he ever gets back to the table.
1 in the side. Where's the 2 ball? Stuck out enough. 8 in the side. Well, he's on the cushion, and he has a shot.
This is going to be interesting because, he does have the skills to elevate and force the 2 in, using that side cushion for position. He does have the skills to do that.
He's not going to elevate. He's going to take the cut on the 3.
No, he has to elevate. I
don't think so. I think he's just going to shoot the ball, get here, and take the cut on the 3. That's what I think. Don't miss right now. Just go 1 rail, take the cut on the 3, and maybe go 3 or 4 rails to the 4.
Notice with the telestrator, notice the position of the cue ball.
Yeah.
He has room. The side pocket offers him room to elevate. You see how he can elevate because of the side pocket?
You think
that's why he's going to elevate and pop it back.
You think he's going to try to go all the way down?
No, cross table.
Oh. No.
Oh, he should have went cross table.
He was trying to go all the way down, but he didn't have much angle, and he didn't hit it hard enough. I still like just taking the cut on the 3. But, of course, he has a good kick safe here, if there's such a thing. If he hits this ball right, he can kick it to the end rail behind the 9. That's what he's going to try to do.
He has to hit the 3 ball thickly, and
yeah,
well,
he's close enough to do that.
And he can use the 5 as a possible blocking ball. That's an excellent shot.
That's just what he
did. And
did.
the 9 and 3 ball was going in the area where the 9 is, and he executed that shot to near perfection. I don't know if he
can
got
cut
a
this
hook
ball
out of it.
in. I think it's time for him to shoot. Don't lose this game trying to duck now. He can cut this 3, and it's not an easy shot, but it's better than being totally snookered with nothing.
Well, it's something like 3rd and 20. if you're playing football. You got to do something special.
We have a little break here. When they first started playing any foul ball in hand, it was to make the game go faster for TV, so everybody just tried to hit the ball. And then people like Siegel and Efren brought in the kick safe part, and it brought in another science in pool. And it's very big to be able to kick safe. No, it looks like maybe he can't cut it. He might be kicking at it himself. But I don't know if he can get away with a safe.
Well, if I had to jump over the foul ball, I would consider kicking it.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like this at all. He already got punished trying to do stuff like this with the 2 the other game, and it cost him. He double banked it.
He's going to get it.
He double banked it. Now, you can call that luck, but you have to have a certain amount of skill to get a chance to get lucky, and that's what happened there.
And that's very well put, Danny.
Yeah.
A lot of times a player will luck in a ball such as that, and I hear a lot of people say, boy, he got lucky, but what you said is really
Yeah, I got to say he banted it.
You have to have the ability and the skills to get lucky. And if you don't have that, you're going to get lucky less often.
And he's got the perfect angle. And it's not going to be a rout after all. It's going to be 4-3 with Atkins breaking.
He's definitely going to have to be spectacular at some time in this match to defeat Souci. That time he was spectacular.
Yeah. Sounds like he's got a lot of rooters in the audience.
Well, you know as well as anyone that the underdog usually has most of the crowd, usually at a neutral site.
Plus, he's at the adjoining state. He's got a lot closer to his home than Souci is. So that means he must have a number of fans in the audience. But like I said, his beautiful wife and mother are here, and I know they're pulling hard for him. Oh, no.
Well, he really can't afford to do that and expect to win this match.
Big no-no.
I mean, the break is the single most important shot in this game, and you have to treat it as such. And then once you take advantage of that and you haphazardly break the balls like that, then you're giving it away.
He tried to put a little more on the break. He glanced the 1, and the cue ball had no choice but to fly off the table, and that's not what you do with a good player. You don't let him start with ball in hand. And all the balls are apart. There's nothing tied up. He just has to go from the 4 to the 5, and that might be the game.
And I also like playing position for this pocket on the 3. That offers him this route to take, always be in line on the 4. If he plays position for this pocket, that means he goes this way, and he's not in line until he reaches this point here.
He just doesn't want to get straight in, that's all, which he didn't. Or did he? No, he's okay. He's got a perfect 2-rail shot.
Now he's going to go forward here because of the angle. I particularly like the angle going back, but with this angle, he may have to go forward.
This is the natural flow of the cue ball. But he is going to shoot your shot, I believe. I think he's coming back.
Yeah, I like coming back if the angle offers that.
Yeah, he can get a little closer to the 4. And he can fall on the right side of the ball.
That's exactly right.
Did.
That was the integral part of that shot, falling on the right side of the ball.
Right.
And the right side of the 4 ball is naturally,
there.
If it's a telestrator, is naturally this side of the 4 ball, not this side of the 4 ball.
No, because he don't want the 8 and the 6 to get into the game.
And the 5 goes into this pocket and not this pocket.
Now he's fine. Now he just goes 2 rails off here and maybe right around here. He wants to get an angle on the 6 so he can come out here for the 7. And he looks like he's got total control of this game.
Now, the shot that he has on the 5, from my vantage point, it looks like this angle is a little flat. If it's flat, then he's going to be forced to draw the cue ball over here. But going 2 cushions is the correct way because it brings you closer to the ball.
Bigger target in the right angle. Well, let's see what he does. Now, he's going to draw the ball, Billy. He's going to draw the ball. Don't get straight on the 6 because it makes just a little problem.
See, now he was able to draw it back and get as close as he could to the 6. But the 2-rail angle would have been a better angle, but he wasn't left with that.
Right.
So he had to force it and draw the ball back, which makes position play a little more difficult, but it looks like this is very workable.
Right. He can bounce off that rail and get perfect and close. He got a little funny. He's going to have to draw the ball. Do you draw 1 rail and play the 8 near the pocket where he's standing, or do you just draw it to the side and shoot right from around there?
I draw it to this X right there and play it from there.
That'll do it.
That's position that's offered to him, and anything else he would be forcing something.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just a soft draw and get to where you mark the X. Uh-oh.
Well,
oh boy,
a little more stroke than he thought.
Dangerously close to that side
a little
pocket.
above the X.
But
fortunately for Souci, ending up just about in perfect position for the 8. Little sluggish on this shot, and this is a shot that he's not going to make 90% of the time.
No, you're right.
Okay.
He would like to come down another 1.5 feet, but I like his end of this. Split the wicket right down the center.
But he made it that time.
Unflappable.
After game number 8, George Souci, the favorite in this match, has the lead by 2 games, 5 games to 3. Yeah, Atkins really made a grave error in jumping the table at the last time, when he was at the table breaking the balls, and that's something that you really can't afford to do. Notice the pro rating numbers. Atkins is shooting at 857. Souci is shooting at 938. Now, 857 is world-class speed, but at 938, that's really smoking.
Especially in a final match. Yeah, a couple little mistakes going off the table, and we would have a match. But it's not over yet. It only takes 1 inning, and it's back to just a 1-game lead. So let's see what happens here.
But the closer to the finish line Souci gets, the bigger that 2-game deficit is for him, and the more difficult it is to surmount.
Well,
look at the cue ball control.
How about that's what I was referring inside again?
Yeah, that's what I was referring to when I said in the breaking area, Souci holds the edge. As a matter of fact, just about in every area of the game, Souci holds the edge. That's not to tarnish or discredit Atkins. He's a young player, much less experienced, and it figures to be a little bit behind in most areas of the game.
You know what I do when I'm in a big match and the score comes to like this? I start figuring out this kind of math. The guy's got to beat me 4-1 now, and it kind of loosens my stroke a little bit. That's what it sits. That's where it sits. Right now, Atkins would have to beat him 4-1 to win this match. And if he makes this, of course, it gets worse.
Okay, now the only problem on the table is the 4 to the 6, Danny. If you notice the position of the 6.
Yeah, he can bump the 6 out. Got to tell us, okay, he can come off the 3 and knock the 6 out to the clearing here, and I think that's what he's looking at.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is the correct shot, utilizing the ability and the angle that he has on the 3 to knock the 6 away from that problem area. And then since the 4 ball is positioned near the upper corner pocket, he'd be foolish to do anything else.
That's the final factor here, is that the 4 is the easy shot. If the 4 were somewhere else, he couldn't do that.
Right. And that's a little bit more of an indication that he's using all that experience that he has, not only to win this match, but to create better opportunities for himself.
Yeah, and he wants to get close to the balls, which he did.
This is game number 9, and if he's able to put down the 6, 7, 8, and 9, he will then find himself on the hill position, leading in the match 6 games to 3, and a very, very difficult task in front of Adkins.
Right, and now it would be the guy has to beat you 4-0, and that's not real likely. Well, he can't reach it, and I guess he doesn't want to shoot it left-handed. I guess it's easy enough with the bridge to go one rail and get close to the 7. Just make the 6, and you're going that way. Well, you got a little funny angle, but I guess he can either go 2 rails to the 8 now, or draw it 1 rail, or cinch the 7. And
that's
take
what
the
I
cut.
like. I like cinching the 7. Now, you know, if you're really pumped, you can force it 2 cushions, but you're really cheating the pocket and making that pocket play a little bit too small.
Right.
I think the 8 ball sits low enough on that rail where he can cinch the 7 and go around the 9.
Well, he's winding up to do something else, Billy. No, he didn't.
Now he's got the angle where he can go around the 9.
Now he can play 1 pocket and go 2 rails to the 9 in the same pocket, right?
Actually, he wanted a little straighter on the 8, but he'll take this. This will suffice.
He's going to go 1 rail, shoot the 9 in the same pocket.
Now this shot doesn't
I
play.
believe.
This shot doesn't play as easy as
No.
he made it appear. By the way,
Right.
That's a little touchy shot there, which he executed,
Perfectly.
extremely well.
Yeah, he's feeling good. He has control of everything here, and he is confident and feels like he's going to win.
Game number 9 goes to Souci. He does find himself on the hill, leading in the match 6 games to 3. And I like to make this point one more time about the shot that he had on the 7. A lot of other inexperienced players would have probably opted to force the 7 in and create an angle to get to the 8 when they really didn't need, or you don't really need to do that, because you miss the 7 a lot more often than you make it.
And that's a form of dogging it.
Quite possibly.
That is. It's a form of dogging it when you want to get closer to the 8 rather than, there's 2 ways to go. Do you want to make an easy shot at the 8 and a little difficult shot on the 7, or do you want to shoot the 7 and cinch it and take the shot on the 8? It's choices.
Now, don't tell me that the break isn't the biggest shot in the game. He's broken the balls 6 times, and he's run out off of the break twice. So he's actually running out at about a 333%.
I think
clip.
that's a better percentage than the average. A good player does not run out 2 out of 6. I think it's more like 4 out of 10 or 3 out of 10. Well, something flew in, and
I don't see anything
nothing
missing.
went in. Nothing went in.
Nothing went in, and now
And,
Adkins does have another opportunity back at the table. I mentioned to you, if he has another opportunity back at the table, since he scratched in the side, he's going to have a lot of pressure on him to respond to the challenge, and he does have a lot of pressure. He's hanging by a thread right now, Danny. One more mistake in this match could very well be history.
He doesn't have a gimme here either. I mean, first of all, the shot on the 1 is close to passing the 5 if it does pass. And then the position's a little tricky. You might go 1 rail and get to the 2. He doesn't have an easy start here to get loose. So I don't know what I would recommend here. I guess you have to go down swinging, would you say?
Yeah, I don't see any real good safety he has offered to him here, so therefore I think he'll do better. He'll fare better if he just thinks offensively from this point.
Right. You got to gain some games here and do something spectacular. He missed the ball. He didn't lose his head, but he left a kind of easy safe here. I think, let's have the telestrator. I think that, what do I think?
All right, we'll get the telestrator working for you, and we'll,
let's see.
In just a second.
Before he shoots it, he's going to fan the 1 and try to go possibly behind here.
Yeah, that's the way I see it as well.
It's pretty obvious, no brain surgeon figuring that out. But the main thing is to hit it thin, because if you hit it full, it might bank out off the 5 and leave a shot. You must hit this thin. See what I'm talking about? If you hit it a little full, it can bank right out. It's got to fan the paint here, and he will go towards that spot I said behind the 2 and the 9.
Now, a lot of players actually would shoot this shot and put left-hand English on the cue ball. That's a mistake because there's no chance of a hook that way.
No English. You don't need English. Just make a good hit on that 1.
Notice the position of the 1.
But notice he hit it full, and the 1 did bank out off of the 5, and Atkins has a shot no matter how tough it is, because all he has to do is make it. He is going to go 1 rail, I believe. Telestrator, isn't he? He is going to go, I think, natural angle come through here.
It's not natural. He's going to have to put a little inside English on this shot.
I don't think so. I think it's going natural angle. That's what it did. He didn't have to do anything but make the ball. And he made a fine shot, but he's still got to do something to get to the 3 now. Do you know what this shot is here? This is sort of a trick shot.
Yeah, it's a very difficult shot.
No,
That's
I'm going to tell you what it is. A telestrator. He has to elevate here and hop over the 9 to here. And that is a possible shot, but I don't know if it's in his repertoire at this moment. You know, trailing 6-2. But that's what it takes, because if you glance to 9, you're going nowhere. You have to elevate it.
He may have one other shot, providing that the angle that he has on the 2 isn't as steep as I think it might be, and that is to draw with left-hand English off the 9 to this cushion and then up this way.
That is a good possibility.
Now, he might be able to do that.
I think he's hitting the 9 a little too full.
Yeah, if the angle's too steep, then consequently he will hit the 9 too thick, and he won't get the movement from the cue ball that he needs to get back up table for position for the 3.
No,
now he's looking at your shot.
Yes, I think it goes over. He don't have to hit it hard because it'll hop. Let's see if he can do that. No, he didn't. He didn't do it.
Nope, he didn't do it because it looks like he didn't really deliver the stroke that was necessary to execute that shot the correct way. He had the right idea, but he didn't deliver the stroke.
But in all fairness, that was a tough spot to be in. You know, with the man on the hill, you really would like to have some kind of easy layout, and it just didn't sit that way. And it reminds me of a saying, things are where fate wills them to be, you know.
Now, there's a lot of traffic in this shot, Danny. He would like to go 1 cushion, 2 cushions, over here with the cue ball. Yeah, now, there's a lot of traffic.
Got to miss balls.
Now, he's going 3 cushions around.
I don't like it.
Setting him short.
I don't like it. He's snookered, and I think, well, he might come with the hop shot now. Now, this is an almost straight-in angle, and I don't think he can bank the 3. It's a kiss. I think this is a perfect time to hop the ball and make position to the 4.
Well, not being a player who is proficient at hopping the ball, talking about myself, that is, I don't know if he has the ability to do this.
Well, he's looking at it.
Considering that the 3 is so close to that corner, you know, he may jump off the table with this particular shot.
I don't think so. You don't have to hit it that hard, because as soon as you hit the 3, you're going to have the angle to go to the 4. I think he has it. I think he has it. It would be a spectacular ending to jump the ball, get on the 4, and run out, and that's what he's going to try to do. You don't have to elevate and hit it real hard.
He might be trying to bank to 3.
No, he's going to elevate and draw. Pat Fleming would do this 10 times out of 10. Pat Fleming is the originator of ACCUSTATS video, and he happens to be one of the great jumpers in the game. And I think that it's a pretty good shot. Oh, he curved it instead, and he overjuiced it. And he was snookered anyway. Okay, now this is the hour. Atkins, do something now or forever hold your peace.
Well, he's starting off with a very, very tricky little shot. Notice the position of the cue ball in relation to the 5, Danny.
Yeah, he has to. I think he can't do much with the cue ball except bounce through here and take the shot on the 4.
Well,
That's
you know,
all.
he's over the 5, and he's going to have to apply a little bit of left-hand English, which is going to send him further away from the 4.
No, it's thin enough. It's thin enough. He don't need English. Just make the
well,
ball.
Danny, he can't. It's going to be difficult for him to do that from this position.
I don't really think so. I think that he just makes the 3 and it goes between the 5 and 8 naturally. I don't think you have to do anything. Just make the 3, then take the shot on the 4, just like that. It's an opportunity where he would have been dead. So now you have no stories. It's in your own hands. You either get out here or you run second.
It's not only getting out here or run second.
Well,
it's
we
getting
know
out
that.
here,
We know
the
that.
next
but
rack, and
you
then
know,
the next rack, and then the next rack.
now is the hour. You can only win them one at a time. You can't think about second and third and fourth game from there. Just get out this one and you have a chance.
I don't understand why he did that. I knew he was going to bump the 7 with that particular
Well,
shot.
it turned out okay. You know, he didn't have too much to do. I mean, he could have put a lot of reverse English, which makes the shot tougher. Now, he's a pretty straight shooter, and I think he'll execute this kind of shot because it's going right to the 7-1 rail. Nice shot. Nice shot. But isn't it funny how the ball knows how to get on the rail when you're suffering?
He does have a slight angle, so I look for him to end up on the angle of the first diamond.
Right, straight in on the side. Sorta. I like his chances of winning this particular game, and he still has life. That's the whole story. Nicely done. Takes confidence to roll the ball at this point of the game. All right, the Ohio group goes crazy.
Well, they've played 10 games, and Souci has the lead 6 games to 4. Well, this is about how I expected the match to come down, Danny. I figured that Souci would win this match because not only of his credentials, his experience, but the pressure's out there. I felt that he would be able to handle it a little bit better than Adkins, and I figured the match to come down pretty much the way it's coming down.
Well, it's not over. You're talking like it's over. You know, he is breaking the balls. If he can win this game, it's like a 1-game deficit. So, you know, the breaker is the favorite. So he's not really done. Let's see him make a ball and make a match out of this.
It looks like he's come up dry once again off the break, but that time he didn't jump the table with the cue ball.
Well, that's good.
So that's definitely a plus.
That's a plus, right. Now, the ball he needed to make here was the 1, and he would have liked it. Okay, what do you do here? Do you cut the 1 in? Do you play safe? I mean, I don't know.
Well, this is actually a problem he's confronted with there.
What I like is cutting the 1 on this side and going this way and hope you don't make a ball.
Well, that's dangerous.
That's
dangerous. I'd rather cut it to the other side.
It's a similar shot.
Oh, yeah, but you don't have to run the risk of pocketing the 5.
But you have more opening over here to sell out, you see, when you go this way. If he comes this way, he don't figure to scratch. He just has to worry about making a ball.
Yeah.
But he is going to go your path, it looks like. Or he might even be cutting at this ball. He is. He overcut it, too. He did overcut it. He wanted to end it spectacularly, and now it's possible to get to 6-5.
It's very possible. Very possible.
Just get on the 2, and I have to like his end of running out here.
Yeah, but I really can't fault him for trying to cut the 1 in because the safety that he had, offered to him wasn't guaranteed by any means.
No,
because there was a lot of holes over here.
Yeah, well, he was
a lot of holes over here.
The safe way was going to 2 rails, but then he might have pocketed a ball and snookered himself. So I guess he thought of that, and he wanted to go down swinging here and try to get out this final game. you know, that final game is a tough one to get.
This ball might have too much speed,
Yeah.
Danny.
Yeah, it
This
kept
ball
going.
does have too much speed. He's found
Yeah,
himself
he
in
don't
back
like
of
it.
the 3. That's a place he didn't want to end up.
What a shame. The only thing he can do wrong. Because if he falls on the 2, he's almost certain to get out. Now he needs, he's in the hands of the
Yeah,
Philistines.
he needs some luck right now. That's what he needs.
I don't know. I don't know if luck keeps coming up when you don't get out on the shot you should. You know, he just hit it a hair too hard.
Well, once again, you know, there's a professional side to be on, and then there's the non-professional side to be on. And in that particular shot, he had a lot more area on the left side of the table to position the cue ball.
Underdoing it rather than overdoing it. You know, he didn't go off much, but it's enough, like you say, to sleep in the streets. Which he's not going to do, by the way, because no matter what happens in this match, he won the $5,000 overall all-around money. You know that.
Right.
So he won't be sleeping in the street.
But in all fairness, when he went rail first on that shot, that particular type of a shot is a little more difficult to judge the speed of the cue ball with.
Right, because the friction of hitting the rail and the ball puts a lot more English and causes the cue ball to go much faster. But again, he just had to shoot it easy.
Well, now Souci's at the table. The ball's really positioned quite nicely over the table.
Right.
This is the money for him right now. And with his credentials and the way he's been playing of late, I really would be surprised to see him not get out.
Let's face it, Billy, it's an easy layout, and that was the story with Dee Adkins. He had to fall on the 2, and he had the same layout, and he didn't. I feel sorry for him, but at the same time, he's had a great tournament, and I'm sure that he'll have other chances to win the big one.
It looks like he's calling the tournament director. Evidently, the 4 doesn't pass the 5 to the pocket. He's going to be playing the billiard, and anything can happen here, David.
You're right. You're right. I didn't know the 4 didn't
can
pass.
Happen here.
A lot of things can happen funny here. They didn't. Funniness is over with, especially for Adkins. Yeah, the 4 went nowhere.
I like if we have the telestrator on this one of the few shots that are left here. I like using both side cushions here. I like using this side cushion as well.
So does he, because that's what he did. Now, do you go forward one rail or draw the ball? I'd say forward.
Forward, because you don't have to hit it as hard, and I think you can, kind of like roll it 1 rail speed for the 7. He's going underneath. It must have more of an angle. Now he's going on top.
Oh, my God. The last game's tough to win. Funny things happen. What is the price of that?
I didn't particularly care for the way he played that
No,
shot.
I like rolling it 1 rail.
Yeah, well, not because he missed it, but I thought he should have went forward. From the angle that I have, my vantage point said that shot plays much more natural going forward.
And he's going to cost you your bet.
Well, that's life.
C'est la vie.
Life.
C'est la vie.
In the big city.
But you know what? He's got a little angler. He might have to roll it and hit the 9. I don't think he can hit it soft enough to hit. Oh, don't jack up. Whatever you do, come on. We have a chance here to make it a real cliffhanger. I think you just got to make the 6 and go towards the 9. Take the shot on the 7.
Absolutely.
Don't do anything silly now.
Absolutely. He's got to do that.
I hope he don't feel bad, because whenever a player misses when he's figures to get out, I don't care if it stops on the lights. You got a chance where you were dead. I don't like this.
No,
I don't like this.
He runs the risk of scratching somewhere here.
It's going to turn out all right, but I never would have gambled there. I would have assured myself the shot on the 7. And did you see the ball hop up in the air? It almost came right back out of the pocket.
Well, you never can tell what's going to happen.
Well, he has to make the ball here, and he's going automatically to the 8. Just don't miss, which he didn't. It's going near the rail again. He's not going to be able to have his own way here with a hanger on the 9. He's going to have to take a shot up the corner on the 9, I believe. He's going to have to roll it in and shoot the 9 ball. You know, it's the way it works. But he is very fortunate to still be in the game. He got nice and close, though. That was a great shot. He
sure did. That was a very nicely executed shot.
He played part of the pocket.
And now this match definitely has a heartbeat. It's really alive and doing quite well at this time. After pocketing the 9, he'll then come to within 1 game of the lead, trailing in the match 6 games to 5, and we definitely have a match.
And Ohio people go wild again. That's amazing, because it was like cinch the 6, go 1 rail, and the match is over. And he tried to pop it in and fall on the 7 in the same pocket.
Well, I believe that Adkins is taking a break, so this will be a good time for us to take a break as well, Danny. But we will be right back with this very, very exciting match, and we look to see a very, very close and exciting finish to this match.
You know, I'm kind of selfish, Billy, but I'm glad when I see a flaw like that, because as long as you're going to compete, it gives you hope that you can beat people like this, you know, because they're not perfect.
They're not, but now once again, if he does have room to pocket the 1, I don't know if the 8's in the way or if it is or isn't in the way. From my vantage point, I really can't tell. But in case it's not in the way, the balls are really positioned very nicely, with the exception of maybe of the 6.
Well, he's lining up like it goes. Oh, now he's looking again.
And keep in mind, that's the same pocket that he missed the 6 in.
If it doesn't go, I mean, he's going to have to come with that slight hop. But he is looking.
If it's that close, it figures to go. He'll apply a little right-hand English on the cue ball, and with his powerful stroke, I think he'll be able to turn the 1 in. Now, if he elevates, then he won't need to do that. But I think that it'll go.
Scott is breathing on his back. Okay. Now he has a chance to win again.
Okay, now let's take a look at the way that the balls are lying right now. This is the 3, the 4, and the 5. But this is where we start to run into a little bit of a problem, the 6 and the 7. The 7 ball is positioned outside the pocket. Now remember, keep that in mind. The 7 is not in the pocket. It's positioned outside the pocket. That could create a problem for him later on.
Unless he got an angle like this on the 6 where he can cut it and let the 6 and the cue ball both go to that other side.
So therefore, he may have a problem pocketing the 7 because it's laying outside the pocket. And in addition to that, like Danny mentioned, he may even have a problem controlling the 6. So therefore, he has 2 things to be concerned about when he's shooting the 6. Pocketing the 7 and controlling the 6.
Yeah, that is a, you know, at this point of winning a big tournament, that is a factor. You have to worry about it. It depends where he gets. See, if he got somewhere like this, it could get to be tricky. He better not get this angle.
If we can have the telestrator, I'll show you the angle that Danny said is the best. This angle here.
Right.
Because after pocketing the 7, the cue ball comes over here.
In case the 6 comes over here.
Okay, now this angle is tricky.
It sure is.
This is a tricky angle.
Is. Unless he hits rail first. If
no.
he can, let me have the telestrator again. He can cut the 6 into the rail and off here, and then the cue ball will go this way also.
Exactly.
That's the way he has to hit it. If he hits it full, he's inviting some trouble. That's just what he did.
That's exactly what he's done. And now he's found himself, along with the 6 ball and the cue ball, pretty flat on that bottom cushion.
Well, the 6 is off the rail, so he has a little angle.
And it's close enough to the pocket, maybe, too, for him to cheat.
He can force 1 rail and get to the 8 in that far right-hand corner, like that.
Well, it looks like his job is almost complete.
Atkins didn't make a ball on the break and a big part of the match, you know, with the other guy on the hill.
He just cannot get careless like he did the last rack.
Hey, I'm glad he didn't shoot harder. He would have been on the 9. I think he's got the match in hand. I think you'd make this, Billy.
Whoa! Yeah, I tell you what, hit a little roughly. But we have a champion in George Souci.
I had in mind a little more tricky rack than that, but he won the tournament.
We're going to be doing an on-camera interview, and in just a moment, and we'll be back with George Souci in just a moment.
We're at the Derby City Classic with the 9-ball winner, George Souci. And first, I want to congratulate you on a great tournament, and then I have a few questions.
Thank you, Danny.
Up in the booth, it looked like the 6-ball you missed on the hill, it looked like you could have gone just one rail, cinched the 6, and it looked like it was over. But you elected to pop it in. Apparently, you felt more comfortable about cinching the ball. Would you shoot it that same way if it came up again?
Well, you have to understand that I was on the hill. It's a little tense, you know. I was pretty full on the 6-ball, where I could almost just roll it forward, but I didn't want to hit it too hard and come off the one rail and out for the 7 in the opposite pocket. So I figured I'd just cinch it and play it in the same pocket. And I didn't play any right-hand English to help the ball in the pocket, so I hit it too full with center ball.
Right, but anyway, you were fortunate enough to win. Now, I've been in that spot. Now, when you do that and give away the game when it looks like you have the tournament victory, don't you feel like he's going to break and run 2 games on you and beat you?
That should be automatic. I mean,
right.
The pool gods always seem to come down when you miss a ball that you're supposed to make and to win the match, and usually gets up, makes a 9 in a break, or runs a few racks.
Yeah.
I mean, you're absolutely supposed to get punished in that situation.
You deserve to get punished.
And you expect to get punished.
Right.
When you don't, you feel very fortunate, and which in that case, that's what happened. I mean, he took advantage of the opportunity I gave him, but after he had broke, he wasn't fortunate.
Right, it was a pretty nice layout. You made a good shot when you pocketed the 7 off the 6. We were calling that. You had to shoot it just that way, or you could have gotten in trouble. But anyway, you won it. Now I have another question that has nothing to do with this tournament.
Okay.
Do you remember in Boston a few years back, you asked me to play 9-ball?
Yep.
And I said, I'll play some straight pool.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, no. Why did you ever say no? You saved me, because we know now you're a great straight pool player also.
That's funny you say that, because, I mean, I prefer to play 9-ball over any other game. I mean, I do play other games, but my first preference is 9-ball. And when I asked you to play, I don't think it was, when I turned you down, actually. It wasn't because I didn't want to play straight ball. Actually, I should have for the experience.
Right. But
because I honestly didn't play straight pool that much well enough to play you.
You sounded sincere. But anyway, I got to tell you about a great 9-ball player in the past that I'm sure you heard of, Luther Lassiter.
Oh, yeah.
He preferred to play 9-ball too. But when he got into straight pool, he killed everybody, you know. And anyway, in the end, you won the 9-ball tournament. You've had a great year, and I want to wish you added success in the future. I'm sure you're going to dominate this game.
Thank you very much, Danny.
You're welcome. Well, that's it at the Derby City Classic, and George Souci, I'm sure, is a very happy man.